Hi all.
Hello, very good evening, all. Eid Mubarak to all celebrating Eid. So, welcome to this knowledge session on One in Tech series. So, we have dedicated this month of April to One in Tech series, so which is by ISACA HO for sustainable development, and so that's the motive. So, create a healthy digital world that is safe, secure, and accessible for all. So we have had some sessions earlier in April. So now today's session we have on artificial intelligence in Microsoft Excel. So before we proceed for the session, Sanjeev, you want to make some announcements? Precedence is there. Sanjeev, you want to say something? Put on chat. So yes, Sanjeev has put on chat that there's a ISO 27001 LA course starting from 22nd May, which is in a physical format at our chapter office. So members can enroll. We had one earlier as well last month. So those who want to enroll, the details would be sent on email. Okay, so coming back to this session, so artificial intelligence has been the buzzword today, and however, hardly people are aware that Microsoft has been deploying artificial intelligence elements in its features since MS Office 2013 version. So that's since a decade it's doing it. So in today's session, we'll discover those features in Excel that make use of AI in producing results for the users. Things like what will be covered will be flash fill and recommended charts and recommended pivot tables. So these things were introduced in Microsoft Office 2013. And then other stuff such as data types like stock and geography, data from picture, analyze data. These are in Microsoft Office 365 and Copilot, which is in the offing. So for this session, we have a very learned speaker with us, CA Nachiker Pendharkar. So he's a partner at SK Choria and Company, Chartered Accountants. He's a CA, CFA, CISA, and DISA qualified professional. He has worked in global MNCs like Citibank, Deutsche Bank, and HSBC in fund accounting domain. In 2012, he quit his corporate job and started his own business of corporate training. He conducts training in MS Office applications, Power BI, Caseware Idea, a CAD tool. He helps professionals in securing Microsoft and Apple certifications. Since 2015, he has been conducting forensic audits for regulators, authorities like EOW and CBI. His focus lies in data analytics and provides insights based on detection of red flags. Since 2020, he has been conducting IS audits, cybersecurity audits, EQIC audits for stockbrokers and depository participants. Additionally, he helps corporates automate their Excel-based work process using VBA macros. He creates macro-based solutions to carry out tedious tasks smoothly with minimum or no human intervention. He also develops financial models, and I'm happy to share that he has stood globally 27th and second in India in a prestigious model of financial modeling championship of 2019 edition. So with this brief introduction, I welcome you, Nachiket, and thank you for accepting our invite for being over here with us. So over to you, Nachiket.
Thank you very much, Murtaza bhai, and thanks for such a grand introduction. So I suppose the expectations might have elevated after listening to that, and I hope I shall be able to give justice to their expectations. Before I begin with today's discussion, just one thing I would like to confirm: is my voice well audible to everyone? Can everyone hear
Yes,
me
it is.
properly? All right.
Yes,
Yes, yes, it is.
yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, just let me quickly share with everyone the good wishes on festivities. So, first of all, today's Ramzan Eid for most of the people. So, wishing everyone an Eid Mubarak as the the holy month of Ramzan ends. and all the sacrifices were done during the month, and now is the time for celebration. So Eid Mubarak to everybody. Today also happens to be the Akshay Tritiya, which is one of the, I would say, 3.5 most auspicious days uh, as per the Hindu calendar. So, me and Murtaza Bhai were discussing different days when should we have a session, and by a stroke of great fortune, it's happening today. So, a Shubh Muhurat of today was chosen by destiny that I would be speaking my first talk that I'm delivering on ISACA Forum. And I thank ISACA Mumbai chapter for inviting me for today's discussion. So, on this note, I would like to get started with today's discussion. So, today's topic is artificial intelligence AI in Microsoft Excel. So, as Murtaza Bhai mentioned, AI is the buzzword, and while it's not an entirely new concept, but Chat GPT as a product has made it it has made it viral and has reached to everyone now, whether from a tech background or a non-tech background also. But something as similar as well known as Excel always had some AI elements also. And I thought since this is the trending topic generally speaking, so why shouldn't we take this opportunity to discover some of these AI based features and the elements deployed by Microsoft. So I would like to share my screen at this point. Please confirm if you can see my screen. I would like to get started
Yes, you
with
can.
a very small, brief presentation on what is AI. We all know that, but let's have a quick recap of what is AI so that we'll keep this context in mind while making the further deliberations. So this is basically simulation of human intelligence processed by machines. So as humans, we are intelligent, and this intelligence goes beyond efficiency. And conventionally, the division between the technology and the human resources was with humans will take care of the intelligence and technology will take care of the efficiency. But when we talk about artificial intelligence, this is when the human's intelligence is now slowly being taken over. That burden, that task is also being taken over by technology. So some of these applications include expert systems, NLP, that is natural language processing, speech recognition. So these things are perhaps known to everyone. So I'm just reminding this is not something that I need to teach you. You already know it, but let's keep this in mind. That means if we are having an open-ended conversation with the technology should be able to figure out what we are trying to say. Sometimes there could be mistakes in terms of grammatical errors. Sometimes there could be some mistakes in terms of the structure in which we have asked certain things, and that is something the technology understands like a human it will exercise some common sense and it will try to figure out what's there on my mind and will deliver the output. While doing that like a human, it is using senses, so to say. So it is there is going to be speech recognition, machine vision. It's going to hear, it's going to see. That is expected. And like a human, there are these steps for development of AI. So there is learning, reasoning, self-correction, and creativity. So if we take example of anything, now for example, if we take the example of CISA course, first time when I'm learning about CISA or any other course offered by ISACA, suppose, I first need to learn. That is, first I need to understand what are the concepts. Suppose I am zero, then I first need to acquire the basic inputs, then I'll apply the reasoning. Now, some things I may find convincing, some things I may not find convincing. So I'll apply my own reasoning, and that's as good as a validation that is happening. I will then come up with my own conclusions. Initially, the conclusions could be a little wrong also, so I'll correct myself. That happens as I spend more time on that subject and as I keep, gaining practice on that. And ultimately, it leads to creativity, wherein once you achieve significant proficiency in any subject, you yourself start developing output and content. So The similar things are expected from artificial intelligence, like a human, how it learns anything under the sky. So the technology is also going to learn, but definitely the speed is going to be much rapid. So subject like accounting, auditing, or even subject like MS Excel, it takes several days, several months, several years to gain proficiency. But technology is supposed to learn that very quickly, and we all have taken a taste of it through Chat GPT, perhaps. Okay, so this is what is AI as a concept at a basic level. Okay, and now let me jump into some Excel examples on that. So I would like to get started with flash fill. This may be known to a few people, but still it may be a new concept for some of the other participants. So I would like to trace the journey. This was introduced for the first time in Microsoft Office 2013 version. I think I'll just minimize this window. Yeah. In MS Office 2013, this was introduced for the first time. And I'll tell you, this is my own favorite feature from Office 2013. I was flabbergasted when I saw this for the first time because previously we were using some other tools and techniques in Excel, like we would use text to columns, we would use concatenate, we might use functions like say mid functions, search function, or left function, right function, and invariably the intelligence was supplied by us, the business users of Excel. Now Microsoft says, okay, you don't have to worry about anything. You just tell me, you just indicate me what's there on your mind with the help of some sample examples. So here's a situation in front of us. We have a list of names, and I'm supposed to separate that. A very simple task in Excel. I need to separate that between first name, middle name, surname. Okay. So conventionally, I might have used text to columns or any other tool for this purpose. But today, and when I say today, at least for 10 years now, I have this option of simply giving examples. So, it is the first example. I type Shilpa. This is what I would like to say that this column, this cell should hold Shilpa, then Anita. And can you see the moment I type ANR, I'm not even finished, but now Excel is trying to figure out. Excel is, silently thinking at the back what this guy is doing. And Excel has a notion about what could be there on my mind, and Excel makes a suggestion. Excel is saying, "Is this what you want to do? Are you trying to extract the first names or first few characters of each of these textual values?" If I conquer, if I say yes, indeed, this is what I want, all I need to do is press enter, and it gets automatically filled. Either I can do that, since I'm not aware of Flash at all. I might actually go on the expedition of actually trying to type. And when I try one or two or three examples, Excel is constantly aware, awake of what I'm doing, and Excel makes some meaningful suggestions, which never happened before. Either you can do that, or you might actually be aware of flash fill. So very deliberately, you will type one sample. You did not want to type an example sample. You keep yourself on India. And I would like to show the menu. Is the screen well visible to everybody in terms of font size, or should I magnify the screen a bit? Yeah, I would like to gather your feedback on that.
No, this is fine. But your voice is
Okay,
cracking up
voice
a bit.
seems to be breaking. Okay. All right, voice seems to be breaking. Let me see if I can do something about it. I'll just try switching the Wi-Fi. to. Let me just check what's the speed I'm getting. Actually, I think I'm getting about 50 Mbps speed. Let me try sharing once more. Or I'll do one thing, I'll just remove my headset if that is causing any difficulty.
Nachiker, we are able to hear you right now. What you said right now was loud and clear.
Okay, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, yes, you can hear.
Sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes, we are
Yes,
you.
yes, you're
Okay,
audible.
okay.
Yes, yes, you are
Okay,
audible.
so maybe the headset could be the issue, so I've just removed the headset because the internet seems to be fine. Uh, so I'll just share the screen at any point if you feel I'm not well audible, do let me know. Okay, coming back to this example. Uh, yeah. So I typed this one value, okay, Shilpa, and beside that, I would like to go to data tab and I'll very consciously press this button flash fill. Okay, it is just beside text to columns. If you are, you already know where is text to columns, or if you know where is remove duplicates, it's above that. Flash fill. The keyboard shortcut is Control E. So if you prefer keyboard, you can press Control E, a very simple keyboard shortcut, and then it gives you this result. Okay. So similarly, Madhukar is the next one. Okay, I type that and then can press Control E and I get this output. And Amkar, Control E, I get this output. Right? Can everyone see that? So these are the things that Flashfill can produce. Basically, the essence of this is these are just a few examples, and the essence is that I can just type some example values. I need not specify what exactly is there on my mind in terms of an intelligent instruction, but I specify in terms of examples, and then Excel figures out what is to be done. So this is the typical case where we are trying to separate, but we can not only separate, but we can perhaps transform the value also. Before transformation, in fact, I would like to come to concatenation. So suppose I want to add something to this. This is where I'm trying to split, right? Suppose if I want to add something. So for example, say these all are qualified CISA certified members, and I would like to write it this way that I write this name, and beside the name, whatever is the name, I put a comma and I write CISA. Okay, because they have been certified. So I write the name value, comma CISA, and I press Control E, and I get this automatically, right? So it can even add something which is not in existence, something that is not there in the original text. You can add more stuff to it. And if you really want, you can even reorder it. I'll come to the reorder part. But before that, any questions are there?
Yeah, one
Anybody?
query from my side.
Yes.
If you have already given the headings of the column in a similar fashion what we did, you don't even need to type the names then, right?
Um, Sorry, I didn't understand your
Yeah,
question.
if the
I've
column
given the
heading,
headings. Ah,
right now you have split its first name, middle name, and surname. And
right.
if you combine that in the first column heading itself, like a first name space middle name space surname, then
Hmm.
if you had a paste the control E, even you don't need to type the name of Shilpa or say Madhukar, or because the criteria would be already defined in the column heading, right?
But then it won't really come to know. We can try that way. Okay, so what you're trying to say is if we insert a column and if we get this as first name space middle name, but you mean to say, okay, all right, if this happens to be the header of a column, is what you are hinting at, right?
Yes, yes.
So just to save time, I'll use text join function to quickly produce that. And if this happens to be this thing, okay, I didn't experiment it that way, but maybe possible. So I stand here. So this itself is an extract actually. Then what happens is, I think it should work for the simple reason this itself is a data value then. And this is an example. So if I stand here and press Control E, it might work. I think it's not working, but let's see. If I highlight and press Control E, then it can work. But still, okay, I'm getting some
You
funny values here.
you have added
I believe
space.
if you put a first name and first underscore name, make it a single word.
Yeah, if I
Single word.
use a
There is a
different,
space in between.
Without the space, then it should work, I
yeah,
guess.
if I might use underscore, but then I'll need underscore in the
No,
example
in the
clause.
column B header, No, 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 not this way.
Which header?
No, instead of first name, it should be first underscore name or first
All right,
without the
all right,
space
all
name.
right. Over
Then
here
it
it
will
is
work
fine,
perfectly.
and over here we can just replace space with a with an underscore.
Underscore, yeah. Yeah.
If we do that, then we effectively get this. And now let's see how this behaves. Okay, let me just see. So I just highlight this and I press Control E. So still I'm getting it that way. Because maybe because this is serving as a header. So on the contrary, if I do give an example, then it works better. Apparently, the headers by themselves are not giving you the best output. So if you give some example values, maybe one, occasionally it can also require two or three values to understand the pattern better. See, it compares your suggested output. That this is the desired output and this is how the data is, and it accordingly extends it. So you may have to sometimes give two or three values because Excel is trying to compare this with the previous one. And as we discussed,
Shall I
this is
interrupt?
expected to grow better. Yeah,
Nachiket,
yeah.
if you could convert this into a table, maybe you'll get this with the header.
Okay, we can try
Don't
converting it
know.
to a
I'm not
table.
sure, but I think.
Yeah, I mean, we can no harm in experimenting. We can convert this into a table. And then if I now this emerges very clearly as a header. So let me see if I get something.
No, no, no. Sorry. My
No,
mistake.
even in that case, it is not giving. It's fine. I mean, a little work we should also do as humans, I feel. While we leave absolutely everything to technology, someday technology will progress to that extent. It will actually catch the thought that I think on in my mind. But right now, I'm conveying that with the help of an example. Okay, one example value.
No,
The point that I'm driving is you might use,
Nachiket
yeah,
ji, just I
huh.
am interrupting you. I
Yes,
just
Lalit,
put, yeah, I just put this some names here in the first column.
uh-huh.
Then I gone to the data. You should go to data, right?
Correct.
Then after that,
In data you go, and within
then
data, now
uh,
you have this flash fill here beside text to columns. It's in data tools group.
uh,
Flash fill.
yeah, I
Uh,
have gone that. Still, it is not
maybe we
happening.
might have a little difference in terms of the arrangement of features and functionalities, but it's a part of data tools group. Or I'll tell you one more thing. If you have got minimum Office 2016, you can do one thing. You can
2016.
simply
We
search
looked
here.
at all the data next to your
Yeah, you can
selection.
just type in this window. You will have a window at the top. You can just type over your flash fill. Okay, you need not care about where it is. Okay, just type in this window and you press flash fill and then you will get it. Okay, fundamentally, it can locate flash fill Just that you need to keep the cell pointer at the appropriate place.
Sir, it is showing that you looked at all the data in next to your selection and didn't see a pattern of file filling the values for you. I have gone
Okay.
to that data, then gone to flash fill. I have put a column.
See,
Okay.
your output value should be beside the input cells. Have you by chance left any space or something? Yeah, you can check for that in case you have, because now I've got the input values in A column and output I'm getting in B column. Okay. If there is any gap in between, then it cannot give you an output.
No,
For
there is no
example, if I
gap
directly
actually.
try for middle name, I may not get anything.
Okay, there is no gap. I will try. I will see. I will try.
Eh,
Okay, I'm
One minute.
lucky here.
just one
See,
comment.
one
I
minute, please. See, there are lots of things in Excel. Let us not waste time. Let Nachiket do his job. Whatever he has decided, let him show.
Yeah,
There are
see,
many
this
Okay,
things.
is
fine.
something you can
Let
experiment.
us not go off
Many
track.
things, yeah, many things are
Okay.
possible or not possible.
Okay,
You can
okay.
experiment
Okay,
and
let's see.
see.
I will see.
Let
The
him
point,
let him
I
do
hope
it.
everybody
He's
is
an
able to
excellent
catch the point. The point is,
speaker. I know. I have attended his lecture. He is excellent. So let him do as he wants.
correct.
Fine, fine, fine.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that fundamentally Excel has this capability now. When I compare that with the earlier editions, if I got Excel 2010 or 2007, okay, because this was introduced in 2013, but prior to that, I had simply no other option but to highlight it and then to actually use text to columns and indicate what am I going to do. Every little thing I had to indicate. So, okay, use a delimiter, which delimiter space, and then if required you can specify the column data formats if required, else press finish. So this was required in 2007, 2010 or earlier editions, but now it is dispensable. Now it is at your option. Let me put it this way: somebody who is just taking baby steps in Excel, somebody who has, somebody who might be 20 years old, might have joined work today itself. Once you explain this to him, he need not know anything further. Okay, just he needs to grasp the idea that you can give one example, and based on that one or two examples, Excel can continue the pattern. That opens up a lot of possibilities. So I was just talking about the transformation. Like if you want to transform it, now let's take a little more complicated example wherein I want a little transformation. What I want is so these are all suppose chartered accountants. Okay, and we chartered accountants have the habit of writing CA before our name for branding purposes. So suppose I write here CA, and then I would like to write the surname first, and then the first name, and for middle name I would just like to write M dot. Okay, so the initial of the middle name is what I'm writing, right? So this is one example value. This is there on my mind. I want CA as a constant prefix. Then I want the surname. Then I want the first name. And then I want the initial of the middle name. It's easy to convey to a human. It's easy for a human to catch this as an idea. But replicating this without Flashwheel with the help of some functions formula is going to be a little tedious job, right? Otherwise, if you employ text to columns and concatenate and maybe left, right, mid, such kind of functions, this is not a very straightforward job that anybody and everybody can do this instantly. So this is where Flashfill can really come handy. So all I need to do is click here or press Control E, and Excel gives me this output, right? So everybody is enabled with the help of this tool. Anybody can achieve the output. Now, obviously, there are some caveats for this. Okay, the caveats for this is we need to have a well structured data. Okay, if your data is not so well structured, and this can be a question on somebody's mind that when it comes to names, will we always have structured names like these? The structure being first name, middle name, surname. Can there be names with 5 components or four components? We have some examples like that. People from southern part of India, many times they have 4 or 5 components in their name. or sometimes you may have only two components in your name, or it can be even one component, single name. Like somebody like Madonna might flash only one name, might use only one name. So due to, you can't really blame Excel for this, but due to the limitations of the data that you have, the output that you may get may not be completely reliable. So you need to cross check it, or you need to review it. That's very important. So this perhaps applies to the present day AI output under any technology, that we cannot simply rely on it. We need to review it. We need to do an audit of that also, so to say. But to begin with, this is an interesting capability, and I think we all should use it sensibly, especially where writing a formula as an alternative to that could be quite tedious. So try giving examples, and who knows, you will get your output, right? So this is as far as flash fill is concerned. Just let me check the chat box if anybody has any questions. Just 1 second.
There are no questions in chat. Yeah.
Just a moment. I'll check the chat. Any questions do we have somehow? Okay, I'll just keep it floating. Okay, some questions were there. I think Murtaza Bhai has answered the question on my behalf. Thank you. Thanks for helping me. All right, this. All right. Any questions on this? Further, any questions? It's available 2013 onwards. All right. I think let's move to the next thing, and we'll come back to it if required again. I mean, if somebody has any questions. Okay, if you can think of something that, oh, I should have asked this, but now the speaker has already moved ahead. Okay, don't hesitate or don't feel shy. At least park the question in the chat box. I'll come to that at the earliest opportunity. But for now, I would like to move on to the next thing, and let's see what else do we have. So we have recommended charts and recommended pivot tables. Again, this was introduced in 2013. Sundaramji has a question. Can we fill it horizontally? So right now, horizontal is not available as per my understanding, but let me try it. Okay. You never know, with Microsoft 365, they might have rolled out an update. So I would like to try it. So just in case, I take a transpose of this, and conventional method of transpose is we go for base special values transpose. You might go for that. Okay. So now these things I've got the field placed horizontally. Okay. I have the field which is placed horizontally. Can everyone see that? Another idea, by the way, I would like to mention a few things which may not exactly be fitting in the agenda, but I would like to create a general awareness. So just in case you have a Microsoft 365 version, you can also insert a function called, sorry, not unique, but transpose function. In fact, this function was available in the older versions also, but with Microsoft 365, it has become a little easier. So that way you get a transpose using function also. So it's your choice whether to use space special transpose or transpose as a function, and it basically converts your rows into columns and columns into rows. Now I'm keen on ascertaining whether if I write here Shilpa as a single name, sorry, and if I highlight the array like this, does it help? If I highlight the array till here, do I get any output? I don't think so. So I think till now we don't have this option. If you have horizontal arrays, you need to first make them vertical and then use it. Right. All right. So let's move ahead and let's talk about recommended charts This is a very easy thing. The best part about AI is supposed to be easy, where we can just sit back and relax. That's the idea. So I have got a very simple example here. Here I have got this data. Now the conventional thought is you have this data. How would you like to visualize it? So you can go to the insert tab and there are so many charts available. You can insert a chart as per your choice. Okay, that's the idea. Uh, I just try to. All right. I hope everybody can see the screen. Some Cisco WebEx controls are also available. I hope they are not blocking your view. I'm trying to remove the WebEx controls, but I think I'm not able to remove it completely.
It's
But I
perfectly
hope
visible.
you can by and large see the screen. So
Actually,
here's the
we
data.
can see
You
the
can go.
screen. I think those controls are available, visible to you only.
Okay, to
Maybe there should
only
be
me,
some
right?
icon where you can push it up. It would float upside.
Okay, great, great.
Or you
For
can change
me,
the
it is not
position.
at all burdensome or it's not causing any difficulty, but I'm just wondering whether, the WebEx controls, are they spoiling your view anywhere?
No, we can see your
Okay,
view.
great, great. So
WebEx
in
is
that
not
case, I would
blocking.
like to keep the controls open so that just in case somebody writes something in chat, I can see that immediately. Okay, that's very heartening to learn. Great. So here's the array coming back to the topic. Here's the array. The conventional thought could be, okay, I would like to draw a quick column chart. So you might go and you might click on the column chart, or I might like to draw a bar chart. Okay, so you might go for bar chart or something. But now, one suggestion I would like to make, you can go for the recommended charts just to see the alternative ways. Many times what happens is we go by a structured thought. Okay. Uh, Conventionally, we have been drawing column charts that I've been doing for the past 5 years. Today also I'll draw a column chart. Why don't we click on the recommended charts and let's see what Excel has to offer for us. So Excel says you can have a column chart, you can have a funnel chart. I might not have thought about a funnel chart, that it might look like a funnel like this, wherein this is the picture that will appear in front of me. And this could be an innovative way of showing the diagram. So the good part about this recommended charts, I feel, is we go beyond our own knowledge boundaries, and there could be a new type of chart introduced recently. I may not be aware of it, but Excel can suggest that to me. And the good thing is Excel changes this as we change the different data types. Like if we highlight a different type of data, we'll get different type of recommendation. So I have one more example. Now this data is slightly different. Again, we have products A to I, like here, but these were absolute numbers, and here I've got percentages. So Excel uses its own brains here, and when I go for recommended charts, now I might get some different recommendations. Apart from the conventional column and bar charts, I can have a pie diagram or definitely a funnel diagram, but I can also have a Pareto chart. I may not have thought about Pareto chart. I may not be even aware of Pareto chart. So this also gives you an opportunity to be aware that such and such visualization charts also exist, and perhaps you can consider uh, learning about that. You can Google about Pareto chart, what it is, and what kind of message it tries to convey. So of late, many new type of diagrams have come up. If I go for, if I don't like the recommendation, I can always say that I'm not interested in any of these recommendation. I can go to all charts and I can see the different types of charts that are there. So in the past few years, many new chart types have been introduced, like a waterfall chart or a map chart or a sunburst chart. We can consider these charts as appropriate depending on the data that you have. And sometimes these are suggested by Excel. So you don't even have to use your head that where exactly will I use sunburst chart in which situation. Maybe Excel will go through your situation and will suggest that to you. At the very least, before we draw a chart, can we see what Excel recommends? We can always say that I don't agree with your recommendations. I'll go and draw my own chart. Okay, you can always see that. Okay. One question from Ashok sir. What chart would you recommend for considering financial highlights of current year comparison with previous year? Um, so current year with the previous year, then I will go for to begin with column chart. Okay, so we have these clustered column charts. So can you see the columns one beside the other? So they give you a comparison. You can even go for a line chart and you can draw two lines. If you have several years, not 1 year, but several years, I will also recommend or I will consider, depending upon what kind of layout you have, you might even consider drawing spark lines. So what these spark lines will do is if you have 4 or 5 years and you would like to, so for example, you have a 4 or 5 series, current period's value, current quarter, previous quarter, and maybe the previous year figure. We have these kind of figures, 3 4 figures, 3 4 fields are there, and we would like to show them pictorially. You can consider drawing a spark line. What it does is it creates a miniature chart in every cell, and that way comparing the different series can be easier. You can of course draw a single diagram also, but in a single diagram, if multiple columns or multiple lines come one after the other, that could be confusing. So either of these diagrams I may recommend. Um, it also depends upon what kind of data exactly you have, but I think one of these might help you. All right. Okay. Has everyone understood this? We don't have to do much actually. In today's discussion, I'm going to speak about minimum use of Excel. Actually, we'll just go and click a button somewhere, and the Excel will do our work, right? Wherein we had to previously intelligently think. Now thinking also Excel is going to do. So let's come to our favorite topic, that is pivot tables. So there is a lot to discuss about pivot tables. I'm not going to discuss that today. But today, let us imagine that we don't know anything about pivot tables, or we just barely are aware of the concept of pivot tables. And here comes a rectangular array of data in front of us. Somebody told me that if you draw a pivot table, you can understand this better. You can analyze this better. Okay. So one idea is you go to insert tab, you click on this pivot table, then you need to tell everything. You need to tell, is this your data, new worksheet? And you need to press OK. Okay. You need to perhaps click, drag, drop, and you will have to build and what should you park in rows? What should you park in columns? What should you park in values? Everything you may have to discuss. You may have to specify. Okay, this is the conventional approach wherein you do drags and drops. I'm not saying this is difficult, but needs some degree of awareness about what is pivot table and what you should drop where and what difference is it going to create. Now Excel says, hold on, I'm going to give you everything on platter. Okay, I'm going to literally spoon feed it to you. So what we might do is we may go to insert tab. We can of course click on pivot table, but how about clicking on recommended pivot tables? So let's see what Excel has for our recommendations. If I click on recommended pivot tables, it comes on the right side as a pane. Now, till very recently, it used to come as a window separately. Now it comes on the right side as a pane. So depending upon your version, there could be slight difference in this. More about how Excel is presenting that in front of you, whether it's a window which is just floating in on the sheet, or whether this is a pane attached to the right side of your Excel sheet. Slight difference could be there in terms of, I would say, presentation. So Excel says you can have a pivot table like this. Maybe it may not be a bad idea to just slightly widen this. I would like to widen this pane a bit so that I can see it better. Excel says you can analyze your sales by customer and products. Is this what you want to do? Okay, customer wise, product wise, sales. If this is indeed what you want, just press this button, insert on new sheet or existing sheet. Normally I don't go for existing sheet. I prefer to have it on a new sheet. Just click a button. So what have we done? We first of all clicked a button for recommended pivot tables, and then we clicked the button, one more button, and it gave me this pivot table on a platter. Excel decided what should go in rows, what should go in columns, what should go in values. This is Excel's own thought. Hold it. I can come back to my sheet one. This is not the end. Okay, suppose I feel that in retrospect, maybe I should check other options. You can always come back and you can check the other options. Would you like to have monthly sales computed like this? So, interesting thing is you have this data where you have value. I think we have a field for a month also. So we have this field for sales month, and it gives you a monthly sales or sales by sales month and customer and so on. You can go for more results if it interests you. Sorry, I've got a little bit of cough, so pardon me for that. This one seems more interesting to me, sales by sales region, product and sales month. So it gives me a lot of information. If I find this interesting, I can always insert it. And it may not be so straightforward for anybody to create this kind of a pivot table because here you are involving multiple fields. Needless to say, if you disagree with the layout, you can always change the layout. You feel that this product should have gone in columns and sales month should have come in rows, or maybe salesman should have gone in filters. You can have it that way also. Okay. So nobody says that you have to take it literally the way Excel is suggesting, but can you just make your life a bit easier by simply initiating the pivot table with the help of recommended pivot tables? You get your fields and you can rearrange them, and that way your layout can be better. Okay, I would like to put it this way, maybe in 80 to 90% cases, you will get your pivot table as one of the options. So building the pivot table is easy. Now they have made it even easier. They are literally spoon feeding you. They are giving you ready-made solutions. Okay. Uh, okay, one question. In sheet region product sales, how to arrange month in sequence January to December? Good question. So I think we took that somewhere. I think I'll take. Okay, we have it here. Let's say. I'll go for a very simple one, this one. Okay.
No,
Now
not
this
that
comes
one.
in its own order. Okay.
Nachiket,
Let us try. Yeah.
not that one. If you scroll down in suggested pivots, there is one table where it was showing, region. Uh, I think you go down. Uh, Further there, it comes in. Yeah, this one probably. It
This
comes
one
in
is there.
column. Yeah, in
Okay.
columns. If I want January as a first column and December as
Correct.
the last one. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, yes. So I think that is this one. I made changes in that, but I think originally I had my month here and okay, I'll make month as primary. Okay, and I think region was here and but I don't remember where it was. Or let me make it very easy for you. Let me reinsert it. Okay, let me reinsert it. So this is what we are getting, right? So what I'd like to do is I'll click on this column filters and I'll try to sort more sort options. Do I have this option here? Okay. So I don't really see this option here, but maybe I can go for a manual sort. Drag items of the sales month field. Okay, this is for sales month. Yeah. Uh, let me see what are more options. Okay, so I will have to probably drag it manually and do it. Actually, in normal sort, we have this option. Normally, when we sort, we can always sort, not in this data, but if I go in ordinary data over here, suppose, and if I'm trying to sort it, I get this option like if I'm sorting month, okay, the order can be a custom list wherein I can go for this list, January, February. In pivot tables, I see this is absent here. It can get very easily sorted in Jan Feb order. Uh, I will have to check because it said that you could always sort manually. You can drag items to rearrange them. I've gone for that.
Or you could sort the original data and then refresh the pivot table.
Yeah. Let me just check if I can drag it. I'm just checking how to drag it. So we have January here. I will have to check this, how this can be done. Maybe if I,
There is a move left, I think, which you have to use. But then once you refresh it, it again goes back to the old one.
yeah. So you can, I think that sort manually, I'll check that, how we can do that. Sort manually. With months, this will be an issue. I agree that we would like to sort it in our way, but it may not come in that sort order. It will come in alphabetic order. And they should have, probably Microsoft should have given it as a more user-friendly option, wherein in more sort options, instead of manual, it should have given the custom, which we have in case of regular sort, data sort that we do. Okay. This is something, I'll come back to this part because this is something even I will have to figure out how we can drag and rearrange. But I think this can help us for the moment. Drag and rearrange could be a little painful. Maybe for 12 items, you might still do that, but with more items than that, then it may make a lot of sense to give that as a custom list once and for all. Unfortunately, that option is not given to me right now. So probably I'll come back to it and we will experiment and see. Uh, but as far as the basic idea is concerned, I hope you are getting the drift that we can get these ready-made pivot tables. There are so many of them, and it considers the different permutations and combinations of the fields. What it really does is it classifies the fields mentally. Okay, it goes through your data and it identifies the fields that these are fields containing textual values, customer, product, salesperson, sales region. Then there are fields with numerical values like sales is there, even financial year may stand as a numerical value. And that's where sometimes we might get financial year also being summarized, summary using sum and all. But I think over the years now it is doing a better job. I can't see financial year being used here. In lower versions, you might see financial year also being shown as a summary field, like sales field. But I think everywhere else in all the recommendations, I can see sales here and different permutations and combinations are being shown. Okay, so it directly displays the output that this is how the output would look like. Would you like to have it this way? And I think that is going to just make your life easier, right? So these are the recommended pivot tables, and I would like to highlight to everyone that this has been available for from 2013 version onwards. Okay, so it has been around for 10 years now. So back then we were not thinking so much about AI, but now it's available. Yeah. Yes, some handy solutions like you can name your month column as 01 Jan, 02 Feb, and so on. So this is the jugaad that you can do as of today, as of now, immediately. Like if you quickly in the next 10 minutes you want the output to be delivered, that's what you can do. So you can always go for that also. Thanks, Murtaza bhai, for the suggestion. All right. So that's recommended pivot tables for you. And these three things were introduced in 2013 for the first time. And now over the time, Microsoft has been making additions in Microsoft 365. So Microsoft 365 is a subscription product. And if you subscribe for that, some of these features will work only on Microsoft 365. Even if you have acquired, let's say, Office 2021, the lifetime edition may not have such feature working. Okay, so Microsoft 365 is something Microsoft has been encouraging, and I suppose many of us are already subscribers to that. So one of the interesting thing that we can do is we can check the data types. So what is this data type? This data type I would like to distinguish from the number format, what we customarily refer to as number format. Like if I highlight this and I press Control 1, I might get this number format. So loosely speaking, we may call them as data types, and it is not incorrect. They are data types in that sense, in one sense. But right now I'm referring to a particular section in data tab. In data tab, we have a section or a group called data types where a variety of types are there. Okay. So you can indicate that a list belongs to a particular data type. So I would like to take two examples of stocks and geography. There can be many more such examples. Okay, so let me talk about these shares. Okay, these are shares which are available on stock markets. You and me know about that. Can we just make Excel also aware about that? So I'm keen on conveying this to Excel that these are stocks. So I can highlight the cells and I can just click on this button stocks, convert cells to stocks. So it might take a few seconds and then most of the cells have got converted. A few cells couldn't be converted. So we need to see why. But before I come to those cells, let me run through these cells. And what kind of values have we got? I will just auto fit the column. Okay, so for example, Jaiprakash Associates Limited is a listed stock on the exchange, National Stock Exchange. So we have the NSE as the exchange here. Okay, Reliance Communications Limited. This is the Bombay Stock Exchange which has come up here. So the way it has got the values, the way it found the values on based on the input values, Excel has automatically converted this into stock exchange. Okay, so suppose you are talking about RCOM actually, which is RCOM is a symbol of National Stock Exchange. You can consider rewriting this as RCOM. And if you do so, now you get the NSE value. Okay, so this may not be exactly like the given list is a set of textual values, right? The same stock is listed on Bombay Stock Exchange also and National Stock Exchange also. How will Excel come to know? So Excel might give you value of an exchange where you don't want to refer. So the best way is you override that with the help of the symbol or the script code as appropriate. Now talking about Hindustan Petroleum Corporation. For some reason, it is not able to convert this. Okay, I don't know why exactly, because this is exactly the name, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. But again, if I go with the NSE symbol, if I just write Hind Petro, I've already marked it as stock, right? As far as the data type is concerned. So I'm just changing the value. And now you can see the icon changes. For a moment it turns green, which means Excel has found something. And now Excel gives you the exchange as a hint that we are talking about the exchange NSE, Hind Petro. This is how it is. Infosys, sorry. I think if I Just change this to Infosys Limited. So instead of technologies, Infosys Limited is not working. If I go for only Infi or simply Infosys first to start with, Infi is the symbol. I think Infosys is also not, it is not able to search for it. But then I think I'm getting some suggestions on the right side. When I type only Infosys, again the complicating factor is for Infosys, I have that stock listed on multiple stock exchanges. Am I talking about New York Stock Exchange? It is Infi, Bombay Stock Exchange. This is the script code. Even for National Stock Exchange, I think it's Infi itself. Okay, so I can select whichever is appropriate. It did get a few values and it's showing in the data selector a few options. Suppose I'm talking about National Stock Exchange, so I can click on this select, and now Infosys is Infosys Limited instead of Infosys Technologies Limited. Now it's Infosys Limited Infi and so on. So like this, you can repair the values, so-called repairing. So repairing means these are not wrong values, but just that when Excel tries to search right now, as of today, it is not able to figure out. Most of them it is able to figure out. A few of them it is not able to figure out. You can get the best solution by giving the particular script code or the particular stock symbol. Okay. Eventually, when you will mark this as a list of stocks, okay, I'm assuming that you will do that exercise and you mark it. What's the use? The use is you get some ready-made information very easily. So for example, can you see this icon here? Insert data. Once you mark a field that these are fields of stocks. Okay, this field is of stocks. So I just click here. And suppose I want the 52-week high. I can click here. Maybe I should have done it for all the stocks. I highlight it. 52-week. And I get the 52-week high for these stocks. Needless to say, for these three, they are not converted. That's where I'm getting a hash field error. Okay, so don't be surprised. Once I properly convert them into stocks by providing the appropriate symbols, then it will really work well. So with names, it is going to do it on a best effort basis. If you have got the field as a stock symbol or script code, then it will give you the best result. You can add more fields very easily. First of all, which exchange are we talking about? So the exchange description might come. Okay, this is the exchange we are talking about. What's their beta? Suppose you want beta, then that comes out. Okay, so much information we can get just by a click. Okay, they belong to which industry and so on. Okay, at the click of a button, you get this. It's as good as a VLOOKUP. You know, somewhere there is a data residing about this, and like a VLOOKUP, a lookup is performed and these values are retrieved. So once we mark them as a particular data type, we can get the surrounding information very easily. We might be interested in all these things, right? What's the market capitalization? Okay, you can explore this further, but I hope you are getting the point that I'm trying to drive here. Okay, any questions on this part till here? Yeah.
No,
So
under
CEO means
data,
company, LTD means
Mr.
limited.
Nachiket,
Yeah.
under data, which field we have to take? Click it.
On the data?
Under data,
Uh-huh.
which field we have to take? That we have
Yeah,
to
so
select.
data types is a group and we need to mark which data type. Okay, so suppose these are stocks. First, you highlight your values and you tell Excel that these are stocks and I want corresponding information that is understood. So you need to click on stocks. And this goes with all the stocks that are listed on all the major stock exchanges, if not all the stock exchanges.
Is it available in 16?
So this is powered by Bing, by the way, which is again a Microsoft product, I understand. So this is how you can do it.
Whether it is available in 2016?
2016, it is not available. It is available in Microsoft 365.
Okay, okay.
So Excel, Microsoft wants you to buy the subscription product. Is there any way user can get to know when was this data last refreshed by Bing? So this is the most recent data by default. So we have another function called, so while all these things can change fundamentally, for example, the market cap can also change and other things. But when it comes to stock prices, so we have a function called stock history, which can give you the historical data fundamentally. That is if you want the historical data to come. But on the other hand, if you see a price, this is the latest price. Okay. That's what I also understand. Now let's cross check this. Okay, Hind Petro, for that it is showing 304.10. And we quickly go to Google and see Hind Petro.
Nachiket, it is the last traded price.
Okay. So it is the last traded price, is it? Let me just check.
You check 52-week high.
304 could be LTP. If I go to National Stock Exchange, what does it show about it? Acha, it was the 52-week high, actually. 52-week high. Sorry, it wasn't the traded price that we are looking at. 52-week high is 304.10. In turn, 52-week low is 200.05. We can cross check that. Like if I highlight this and go for 52-week low, and 200.05 is what I get. Latest price, if I go for price, maybe. So I've got a field called price. If I go for price, then I'll get price. Now, what kind of price? 241.80. Now, what is 241.80? So this is the ask price that I can see here. Okay, or closing price maybe. Yesterday when the market closed, today it is not functional. Yesterday when the market closed, yesterday was it a holiday? Trading holiday. In any case, whenever was the last working day, it closed at 241.80 and that figure has reflected here. So price by default is going to show you the latest price, and probably you can try this. You can keep it open during market hours. Yesterday was not a trading holiday. So this is yesterday's price, and you can keep it open during market hours and see that, because this is actually a live function. If you see A2 dot price, isn't it? This is a live formula. So it will get updated. Maybe at a frequency. So there might be a frequency, and accordingly at that frequency, it will keep changing. Okay, so we have volume ticker symbol. We have last trade time. That is another thing somebody suggested in the chat. So that way we come to know what is the date, what is the time when we have this. 11:43, this can be as per, we need to check whether this is IST or what. But accordingly, this is the last traded price.
UTC.
Yeah, UT it might be. So the point that I'm driving is you can mark this field as a stock price, stock type, and you can get a variety of information just by clicking at it on it. Okay, you don't have to necessarily search for it or apply even lookups. Even if that data is available, let's assume you have that in a data table. Conventionally, if you know your codes, if you know your what do you say, ticker codes or script codes or whatever, you'll have to apply VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, such lookup functions to derive the values. That's not really necessary if you know they are stocks. Similarly, if you know they are geography, I would like to take example of geography. So these are some geographies. More specifically, these are cities. But let's say I will talk about geography. So I'll highlight these and I'll go for data tab. The same thing. Data tab, now I've got another option called geography. I'll mark that these are geographical locations. I'm luckier this time. All these values are recognized. And then what can I do? Now these are geographies, so you won't obviously get the same options. No point in that. So suppose you would like to know their area. So I click on the area. I suppose these are square kilometers or something. Then largest city is New Delhi. Basically, which is the largest out of these? It is showing a hash field error for the rest of them, and for the largest one, it is showing the name. Sorry. More importantly, we would like to know their population. So this is how the population comes. Maybe you can just highlight this and go for a conditional format and color scales or something. Show it this way. So the more populous city is being shown as red, less populous is shown as green. Or maybe you can go for this with a population density, because bigger city is expected to be more populated. So city divided by its area, the city population divided by its area will give you a density. You can compare the density that way. But to begin with, I've just um, highlighted the population itself. You can see who are the major leaders. You get this data also. So when it comes to Delhi, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is the chief minister, Kailash Gehlot is the minister, and Vinay Kumar Saxena is the governor. You can learn because Delhi is a city as well as a state, so it has a chief minister. But other cities like Hyderabad, Indore, Lucknow, uh, when you talk about the leaders, there is a concept of mayor, who is the leader. Apparently, cities like Meerut, Mumbai, and Pune are not having any leaders. At least Excel doesn't have any information on that. Okay, so there is scope for improvement. Okay, I don't claim that this is the best. Okay, there is a lot of scope for improvement. By the way, either these features or any other features, if you feel Excel can do better. So in at least in Microsoft 365, we have this people kind of an icon here. A human being you can see at the top right corner. If you click here, you can give suggestions, you can give a feedback, make a suggestion how Microsoft can do better. At the very least, we have a gateway to send across our thoughts. Whether they will immediately implement it or when, that we don't know. But there's something that is available. Okay, so we should be more vocal and we should raise our feedbacks. Company like Microsoft logically should listen to us. Mumbai currently doesn't have a mayor. Okay. So that's where we have got a hash field error, something equivalent to hash n error in VLOOKUP. So probably because of that. Yes. So these are just some examples, and you can then extend the idea. Okay. You have some more fields. You can see the time zone, area, latitude, longitudes, Now, similarly, you have the other data types. So I hope you are getting the idea. Suppose you have got a list of foods, then what can you see about them? Sorry. So then if you want nutrition facts and all, if you have got a list of cities, so probably we could have marked this as cities also. How is this going to be different? Let us see. So we have geography and we have city. Geography may cover even countries and states. So if I just make one column for cities, and if I come back here, I copy and do a paste special to values. Okay, I'll just reclassify this. More specifically, I mark this as cities. Okay, with respect to Hyderabad, for some reason, there is some kind of thing. Sorry. We'll come to that part, but maybe we get some notable people born in city. So we can see. Oops, it's busy trying to find out. Take some time. Okay, so I wasn't aware that Boni Kapoor was born in Meerut. But these are the important people who were born in this city. Yeah, you need to have online Excel version. So right now, of course, we all are online, and apart from that, you need to have a Microsoft subscription, Microsoft 365 subscription to work for it. Okay, so you can go ahead. Accordingly, you can see more things. Now, city belongs to a country or region. Which country or region does it belong to? Country name is given, and population density is something I would like to see actually. For some reason, I think maybe reliable data is not available of whatever reason. The densities are not shown, whereas we did get previously. Uh, it made a change here itself. Okay, so previously we did get population, right? And we did get area also. So logically, if you ask me, population divided by area gives me the density, doesn't it? So I'm not sure why this cannot be produced. But for some reason, it has produced only for a few values, like Bengaluru 16652. Here it is showing this. So maybe it is fetching the official figures from an official field, and that field doesn't have enough values. Uh, you can derive it always, but it's directly fetching it through the field called population density. Okay, somebody has asked a question. Ashok sir has asked a question. What is the current annual subscription cost for Microsoft 365? It really varies depending upon which version you use. So there are many versions, and I would like to just one second.
Approximately 6,500 for
Okay,
six
I'll do one thing. So
six users.
Microsoft 365. Let's see. I'm clicking on a sponsored link. Let them pay a few cents for viewing this, for showing this rather. So this is the price for business. Okay. So there is this business basic, which is available at 136 rupees per user per month. Okay, you can make an annual payment. I think this pricing is based on annual payment and GST is additional. But what could be more logical, I feel, is you should go for either 365 apps for business or 365 business standard. So either of these you should go for. This first product exists, but the problem is you can only use web and mobile apps and services. So you can use this only using web browser or on your mobile. But suppose you want desktop applications, then you should go for either this or this, depending upon what suits you better. You can check. You know, the difference between them is some more applications are covered, like MS Teams. Do you want to use MS Teams? Do you want to use SharePoint and such other things? Then you can go for business standard. And business premium is available in case you want some more products. You can go for that. You can even consider the home edition. And frankly, I use the family edition. Yeah. So Microsoft 365 family is good. You can use it for 1 to 6 people. So up to 6 people in your team may be covered. 6 people, but each person can use on up to 5 devices simultaneously. This is very interesting. So theoretically, it can work on 30 devices at once. And covered in your devices are your phones and your tabs also. So and no more use other freewares like WPS Office or something. I used MS Office itself, that is Microsoft 365 for my mobile based spreadsheet and PPT and Word purposes. You get 6 TB cloud data storage also. So this is what I use. They have created this product, but if you just pay a little more, you can get it covered for up to 6 people. So I have gone for this. It's ultimately your choice. Maybe for business, by putting some more bucks, you will get much better performance. So you need to see what suits you. For me, home suits me till now, but for you, business could be applicable. Just check what makes more sense. In any case, I'll tell you one thing: if you go for a suitable product, you will not regret it. I upgraded to Microsoft 365 about 3 years back, and then I thought, why, for all these years, I did not upgrade. That's why I did not go for the subscription product. So far, the life has been very good with the subscription product. Okay, so I will recommend that generally speaking, and you can see what makes more sense for you. So that's as far as Microsoft 365 is concerned. The prices. Okay. I think the city's data I actually pasted in the same sheet. Just quickly take it in this. Okay, any questions on this data types? Okay, similarly, you have the other data types also. You can check as per your requirement. Fundamentally, if you have multiple values belonging to a field type, like these are plants, these are universities, there's something called as yoga also. I was a little surprised to note this. So movies and animals and whatnot, you can classify them, and at the clicks you can get some relevant information at mouse clicks. Currencies, I think this can be very handy if you want to check the currency conversion rates and all those things. Okay, any questions on this part?
Nachiket, how updated these data are? Where from they are collecting all those things?
So in my opinion, they go with publicly available data. So it is powered by Bing. So Bing is a search engine, and in my opinion, it gathers it from publicly available data.
Where
Uh,
they
so yes, I think the point that you are hinting at is to what extent is this reliable? So okay, that's something even I wonder whether we should completely rely on it. Uh, Now, when it comes to something like stocks, it fetches from the stock markets. So this is more reliable. But when it comes to something like geography and cities,
it
there
uses
can be some mistakes. I don't deny that.
it uses
That is
Wolfram.
possible.
It uses Wolfram Alpha AI
Ah,
search engine.
right. So actually, powered by Wolfram, actually.
Yeah, Wolfram
So I
Alpha.
think stocks was powered by Bing. I think generally powered by Wolfram, that is for the other activity. Acha.
It's an
So
AI search
this is a
engine.
category under Wolfram, actually. Sorry, my bad. So only stocks are not here, right? Only the stocks, currencies, they are powered by Bing. Okay. Location, currency, stocks, and geography, how to get other data types. So first you need to type the data. So for example, you need to have your data ready. And then you click on that. Now if I talk about animals, so if I write just dog, cat, tiger, cow, what else? Lion. Okay, so if I just type these values very quickly, and then what I can do is I can just mark these are animals. I can say these are animals. Now here you can be a little more specific also. Somehow cow is not recognized. Okay, but maybe some synonym of cow should be used, that is expected. I'll leave that. Okay, how it can be repaired you can see. But now the others are denoted by a pug mark. And now I can just get some alternate common name like house cat, horse, ass, burrow, donkey, etc. Recorded lifespan and all. Okay, now you can get the different field values. Some scientific name for that. This is the scientific name. Okay, and further data fields you can get. But the point that I'm driving is you need to have a list of values. First, you need to have a list of values and then you mark it as a particular field type, data type. Sometimes if you're lucky, then it while typing it suggests. It has happened with me a few times. So let me try it. Like if I'm typing a list of values, it might suggest that to me. So for example, if I write India, Pakistan, um, see, I was typing this Bangladesh and it is now giving me a suggestion. It reads my first three data input values. It says, why don't you convert this to geography? Okay. I was just doing my data entry. Now I may mark this as a country. So this has been my experience sometimes. When you try to type it, it asks you. Like if I'm typing here Infi, SBIN, and maybe HDFC, convert to stocks. Now three stock values I entered. These are NSE symbols. I can convert them to stocks. Okay, so this way also Excel, as I told you, like flash fill, it is lurking behind and it is intelligently trying to monitor what you are doing.
Now, could
And
you
it
add
is
one
like a
more?
friend. Okay, it's not like an auditor, it is monitoring, but like a friend, it is monitoring and it's trying to suggest that maybe you can mark this as a stock and you can get some better things.
Please
Yes,
add.
somebody was saying something.
Please add one more.
Okay, so which one?
Anyone, whether it is picking up.
Okay, any one category. Okay, the next one. So suppose if I try for LT, Larsen and Toubro, if I
Yeah, yeah.
go for
It is taking the data type.
Axis Bank, yeah, it is picking up. I think the subsequent ones are being picked up as you go on typing. Here, if I put Canada, yes. What if I write USA? And then United Kingdom. If I make a spelling mistake. So, did you see that? I deliberately made a spelling mistake. I'll make another one. So in a hurry, I was typing this and I made a deliberate spelling mistake and it rectifies because now it knows probably what I meant was United Kingdom. It rectifies the spelling also and it assigns that format. So now perhaps I can just pull out something from here. Carbon dioxide emissions. I can get that. Okay, so these are some interesting possibilities with the Microsoft 365 version. So as a conclusion of this session, like the at the very least, if you can take this message home that perhaps you should strongly consider subscribing to Microsoft 365. And I'm not an agent of Microsoft 365, but as a user who has been impressed with this concept, then I think it will be a good value addition, I would say. Okay, so at the very least, you can try. See, this Microsoft 365 business apps for business. This you can try for free. Previously, they were giving home edition also for free for 1 month to try. Now, apparently, they have discontinued that. That is available in the American version. So, but in India, it is not available for free for trial purposes. But for business, you can use for free for 1 month, and then you can always switch the product type later on. At the very least, use it for 1 month and see what's your opinion. And if you don't like, you can always discontinue. Okay, so that's something we can always go for. Right, this is clear to everybody. Data types. All right, let's go to the next one. Now let's see how we can insert data from picture cropped. So I'll open a new blank workbook for this purpose. This is not really known to everybody, but we can actually pick data from pictures. So this is OCR recognition, and it has been classified officially under the AI capabilities of Microsoft Excel. So what I need to do is I need to go to data tab. Let's say I've got a picture. So this is a picture I clicked today itself. So I got this file called insert data from picture. First I'll open the file. It's an image. This is a little old data. I just picked up one newspaper at random and I clicked this photograph. If you see this photograph, uh, you can see this is not very clear picture. Okay, I have not clicked a very neat picture here. Okay. Maybe it could have been better. It's a little, you can see, I just picked up and things, the newspaper was a little folded or something. Okay, let me see how Excel responds to that. I go to data from picture. Okay, in data, you have got this get and transform data. Okay, get and transform data you will have minimum in Office 2016 or higher version. Okay, within that, if you have Microsoft 365, then you will get from picture. Okay, you need to have Microsoft 365, then you will get data from picture, picture from a file. Okay, so then I can browse for it. I go to desktop. Actually, this was the original one. I think I named it appropriately. So if I go from picture cropped, which is actually the full data, then it reads the data we are analyzing your image and gives me a preview that it looks like this. This is how it is looking. Okay, and it may not be the best choice to go for an image like this. This image has a lot of garbage data. So that's when you should crop it the way we have done. So I'll strongly recommend that first you crop your image. Don't go for your entire gross image. Crop it for the tabular data. Excel is tabular in nature, so tabular data will come in Excel. You should be aware of that. Okay. Now here also, Microsoft is not very clear on a few examples. Can I just widen this window a bit? Sorry. So you can see these pink colored blocks. Here Excel is not very clear whether it has got the values correctly or how. So you can always review. You can click on review and then Excel shows it this way. 24 items require review. So this is the first portion. Is this blank? Suppose I accept it. This portion, is it blank? Western Railway is what it can read. Okay. Procurement. I think this hardly matters. Main is the tabular portion. Now this is important. This you should see. Excel is not very confident, so it gives you a chance to rectify if something is wrong. Else you can accept. Now this I need to rectify, right? So 31st hyphen mar hyphen 23. This Z has no meaning. This is 6, but what is the next one? Okay, it's taking it over 2 cells, which shouldn't have happened, but okay. I'll just go for 6th April and the next one hyphen 23. I'll see what to do about that later. This I accept. This I accept. Okay, like this you can go on repeating. Okay, I'll not go too much into this, but you get a chance. If your image is not very clear, you get a chance to repair it. And then right now what I'll do is I'll accept. I'll just click on insert data. Okay. I'll click on insert data. So it might just say that 9 items still require review. Okay, you are responsible for validating. So Microsoft is putting a clear disclaimer. You cannot later on slap a file against Microsoft. Gives you a disclaimer that you are responsible for validating. Okay, I'll insert anyway. And I get this. See, at the very least, whether they're completely correct or no, first of all, I get a chance to review it. Okay, then I can perhaps repair some of these values in one way or the other. But look at the possibility. The possibility now is you need not do data entry. If there is a paper, if there is some data on paper, you need not actually type in the values. Just take a snap, and using that snap, you try to input the values. Right now, this is not perfect. There is scope for improvement. First of all, Excel knows that there is scope for improvement. So Excel gives you items for review. You can review and make changes over there. Only where editing is required, you edit it. Else, take it and then using some smart techniques in Excel, you can repair the things. But fundamentally, these values need to be typed from the picture. It needs to come as a text or as numbers, as values into cells. That is happening with the help of this get data from picture. So using this feature, using a snap, you can get data from from anywhere. You cannot get in 2016. So my solution for you, my suggestion for you would be you will have to upgrade to Microsoft 365. Okay, इतने पैसे में इतना ही मिलेगा. That's what Microsoft says. So if you are in 2016, you will have to come to Microsoft 365. For 1 month, you can try it for free. Okay, there was one more question. How do you take the snap? So just a regular snap. If it is a paper thing, okay, if it is on paper, open your mobile phone, take a snap, get it on your laptop or desktop, and from there you get it. You can scan it also. So when you scan it, you will get the output in JPEG. That is possible. Another thing that you can do is you can go to any website. Now, let's say if I go to, say, National Stock Exchange. And on this website, there might be something tabular. Okay, so I'll take this one. Okay, what you can do is you can open snipping tool. Because this is another experience, right? Sometimes when you copy paste from a website into Excel, it doesn't come very cleanly. So another alternative is just try using snapshot. Does it work? So you can click on the new using the snipping tool. You can just go for this tabular data. Okay, this is what you can do. Okay, you just capture the screenshot and you can save it. Ah, you can save it and you can I'll just put it in downloads maybe. Oh yeah, take a screenshot using snipping tool and then you can bring that into Excel. Sorry, from data, from picture. The latest screenshot. Again, there are some values which require review, so you can of course review them. But suppose I'll leave that aside, I'll quickly click on insert data. So fundamentally, I can get this text from a website also. So it can be a website, it can be a piece of paper. Just take a snap somehow, and then you will get the values fundamentally typed. How to repair some of these values is something you need to check, or you need to review it properly. Okay. This is again something that is at a nascent stage, I would say. It is evolving, and over the time, it is expected to do better. All these AI techniques, AI based techniques, are they are, I would say, they are doing better and better. Over a time, uh, they will give you better output. Regarding Google Sheets, I don't have much idea. As frankly, I haven't used Google Sheets much. I think Kiran Godambeji has given a suggestion, graph suggestion, try pie chart, etc. So maybe in Google Sheets you can see if some graph suggestions might be there, like equivalent to recommended charts. There might be something. Google, by the way, is coming up as a very good alternative to Microsoft. It's always better to have more players as users. Having more players give you the best consumer experience. So Google is doing very well over the past. Even today, like as of today, Microsoft is ruling. But in the coming years, Google is going to pose as a big threat to Microsoft. And this competition will bring the best for the users. Right. Yes, there are many other options also. And what I'm trying to say is in Excel also we have one option. So now you are pampered with options. Right? Okay. So this is getting data from picture. I hope this part is clear to everyone. And the success of this will depend upon how clear is the image. And over the time, Excel is also expected to do better and better. Let me just save this file for future reference. Fine. Let's very quickly move to the next thing. Uh, the second last topic for today. I think the just last two topics. Let's do our best. We have about 15 odd minutes. Analyze data. Anybody has used analyze data? Anyone has used analyze data? I'm not talking about data analysis as an add-in. Okay. Mahindra Patel sir has used it. Very good. Mitesh Mehta has also used it. Nice. Okay, very good. Let's see. So I'm opening the same file. Okay, this file is not different from that recommended pivot tables. Okay. Now Microsoft says if you have a rectangular array of data, you don't have to really do anything. In 2013, they had introduced recommended pivot tables. Now, somewhere about, I think around 5 years back, they introduced a concept called ideas. So that time the name was ideas. Somewhere about 2, 3 years back, they renamed it to analyze data. So if you go to home tab, if you have a Microsoft 365 subscription, if you go to home tab, at its extreme right, you have analyze data. Okay, and if you click on this, it's going to read your data and it will let you ask some questions. So you can ask a question about your data. Excel has read your data. You can ask some questions like top 3 products by total sales. Forget that. I will ask something different. So I'm just going to ask to my data which product of mine has achieved the highest sales. Sorry. I have tried to word it in a natural way. Okay, which product of mine has achieved the highest sales is what I have written. So I get this answer showing top products by top sales. If I want, I can have it as a pivot table. If I click on this button, then this opens up as a suggestion one in a separate sheet wherein there is a filter applied on products. So there can be more values also. Okay, if I want, I can clear this and then everything might appear. Okay, I think right now only one product is visible.
Highest.
Oops, I think my file crashed. So sorry. It couldn't take. I think some processing is also absorbed by this WebEx session. So in the whole process, it got crashed a bit. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to reopen it. Okay, so here we were. Yes, it makes use of NLP, natural language processing. I think this was the file. Right. I'll click on analyze data once more. The idea is you just ask questions that you have. You have some specific questions. Or let me try which salesperson has been doing the best. Right now, it is not able to figure out what do you mean by doing the best. So when I write which salesperson has been doing the best, it just gives me a list of all the salespersons. Can I be a little more specific? Because doing the best means what? Doing the best sales. So now it tells me that Homer Simpson has been doing the best sales. See, previously in my previous question, I had not used the word best. I had used highest. So highest is best. Best means highest. Is something Excel is doing intuitively inside, right? So my point is you can ask questions in your own language and Excel will give you solutions for that. That is one thing. Second thing is if you go beyond these questions, like if I just collapse the ribbon a bit, you can go beyond these questions. You can of course ask these questions and just in a ready-made manner accept these insights. So there are some ready-made insights given by MS Excel. So for example, sales by customer and products. Maybe you are interested in a pivot table like this. Would you be? If yes, you can click on this insert pivot table and it inserts it for you. You get a pivot chart, sales by customer, a bar chart like this. So some pivot tables and pivot charts are given to you ready-made. It also gives you something like this that sales has 4 outliers. So in case you are into forensic audit or something and you are more interested into outliers, so you might see that these are the outliers means these are like the exceptions. Comparatively, these 4 values you would like to look at more. Maybe there is something in that. Then it tries to build some correlation. So some insights related to correlations. For salesman, January sales increases over financial year. For channel partner, so and so sales increases over order date. This may be a case of spurious correlation also. So there is a feedback thing. Is this useful? You can say yes or no. Okay, Microsoft is trying to improve this product. So your feedback is going to be important. If you see some senseless or illogical insights being provided to you, you can always give that feedback that no, this is not useful for me. Bottles has noticeably higher sales in comparison with the other ones, and so on. Different diagrams are being presented. One great thing about diagrams is they give you a pictorial view and you get an understanding much better if you see a picture, right? We know this that a picture says a story worth 1,000 words. So on. I mean, you can just browse through it. You can take any rectangular array of data. So many insights come up. So I'm not going to read out each of them. But I hope you are getting the point. The point is, if you have a rectangular array of data, the conventional thought was let us process it by ourselves. How? Maybe you will insert a pivot table, insert a pivot chart. You yourself will create it. You'll go to insert tab. Suppose the year is 2007 and you have 2007 version. You will go to insert, you will click on pivot table and you will drag and drop fields. You will go and create a pivot chart. You yourself will try to slice and dice the data in a variety of ways. You yourself will create pictures and then you will read and try to understand what it is. Now, Microsoft says you just sit back and relax, submit the data to me. I will analyze your data. I'll give you some insights. Do you have questions beyond that? Ask me the questions and I'll give you the answers. Okay, this can be extremely relieving for top management because not everybody in the top management is tech savvy. So they can just ask questions and they'll get the answers. Okay, so this is a very interesting capability. It has been around for about 5 years now. called analyze data. We should use this. There is scope for further improvement. Many more things can be incorporated, or the quality of this insight generation can improve. But we should all take this as a very exciting and interesting beginning. And over the time, Microsoft will only improve on this. And for that, our feedback is very important. Just as there is a feedback link, I think Murtaza Bhai will be pasting that soon. But just as we have a feedback for this session, there is feedback for these insights also. Okay, so is this helpful? If we tell Excel, then Excel can improve. Sorry. There's a question. Somebody has asked a question. I think Mitesh has asked a question. How to make a link from a pivot table? Not sure whether I've understood your question. If you can elaborate a bit, how to make a link from a pivot table? Do you mean to say, do you wish to link it to the source data or something? I'm not sure whether I've understood it. What does MS do with all this data? So hopefully the MS should not be leaking it. Okay, that is my first concern with respect to data confidentiality. And I will have fair reasonable degree of reliance I will have on MS that it will actually not leak it. It will not misuse it. Because if MS is going to do that, then whom else can we trust? Okay, bigger companies like MS or Apple or Google or Facebook, we need to, if we cannot rely on them, then whom can we rely upon? Okay, so that becomes a thing. But a good question asked by you, that probably in a safe and a secure manner, in a confidential manner, they are using our feedbacks to improve their algorithms better and better. And it's the machines who are using it, consuming it, and trying to make themselves better and better. Humans themselves are not reading the data, is what I'm hoping for. Do we have forex rates in the data group? Yes, we do have. We have forex in data. So we had currencies. Where has it gone? In this array, I cannot see it. But if I go to a blank sheet, so it was visible previously. If I go to a new blank Excel workbook, over here we had currencies. From there we can. Abhijit Sahasrabudhe sir has a question: is AI applicable for VLOOKUP function? So VLOOKUP, if you are asking is AI applicable for VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP is an efficient function, but I won't say it's very intelligent. So VLOOKUP does things very fast, but VLOOKUP has these arguments, and each argument is supplied by me as a user. Okay, so there is hardly anything that VLOOKUP intelligently does anything. Okay, VLOOKUP goes as per my instructions, and in fact, VLOOKUP at times is dumb. You know, where VLOOKUP can exercise intelligence is if I've got four values, 4 times CIPLA has come. So which CIPLA should be chosen? If VLOOKUP chooses that intelligently, whether the intelligence is correct or incorrect is something we'll discuss later. But VLOOKUP appropriately, if it tries to match with the CIPLA, correct CIPLA, then I will say it is intelligent. Right now, VLOOKUP is going in a structured manner, wherein if there are multiple occurrences of the lookup values, it matches against the first occurrence. So that way, VLOOKUP or even the relatively new function XLOOKUP, both are, you can call them efficient. You can call them something that makes your work easy, but not really intelligent. That way. Okay, so that will be my response to you. Okay, many are saying bye-bye, but I've got one small PPT of 3 slides. I would like to just run that before I end it from my side. And I have 4 minutes of eligibility with me. So I would like to just request everyone to hang on for 4 more minutes at least. And I would just like to run this PPT on Copilot. So Copilot is something that Microsoft is yet to launch. Okay, so there is no way I can really run this and demonstrate this That's because this co-pilot is yet to come, but it is already creating a sensation. So I thought, let me at least open this topic. So what is this co-pilot? So this is the next sensation that we are going to have. It's going to be a merger of what I will call in simple words chat GPT with Excel. Okay, so on March 16, 2023, Microsoft introduced that using OpenAI's chat GPT, they are going to have Microsoft 365 Copilot. That means you are the main pilot and Excel will serve as a co-pilot. And my prediction or my speculation is that actually co-pilot will become the main pilot and we will just stay behind like a passenger is what I feel. So long as the pilot or co-pilot takes me to my destination, why should I even bother to fly the aircraft? I can relax as a passenger. That's what I predict. Let us see. This is yet to be released. So what is it? It's going to handle a variety of tasks just by question answers. In Chat GPT, many of you might have used it. You ask questions in NLP, in natural language, and using NLP techniques, it gives you responses. Something similar is going to happen, and depending upon which application you are talking about, because Copilot is not restricted only to Excel. It will happen across MS Office applications. So a number of things can happen. With respect to Excel, it will analyze trends and create professional looking data visualizations. Let us try to see a video as a teaser. So I would like to play this video. Okay, just for a moment, I'll stop my incessant flow of talking and just everyone can watch this. This is what you can do in Excel. So this was a teaser for you about what could be the co-pilot. The movie is yet to be released, so we'll see when the movie is actually released. That time we will get to know more about it. Right now, only some 20 privileged users are having access to Copilot, and they are test. It's in the testing phase. So there are a lot of questions on that floating around, and right now the common answer is no idea. But hopefully in the next few months it will be released for public consumption. That time we'll know more about it, and that time we can discuss more about it. Maybe Murtaza Bhai will arrange another session on Copilot in the coming days. So I'll leave it at that. And for now, I would like to thank everyone for patiently listening me for the past 2 hours or so. And perhaps I will hand it over back to Murtaza Bhai. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nachiket Bhai, for the wonderful session. Yeah. Before I, have the vote of thanks, I just have a few announcements, for the upcoming sessions. Just share.
Is there a feedback form?
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah. Okay, so this is the next session that we'll be having on coming Saturday. That's the Sheely Tech. So it was scheduled last week, but due to some emergency on the speaker side, we had to postpone it. So this is there on 29th April. We have it on a Sheely Tech panel discussion that's on risk and benefits of IT outsourcing. So there's a RBI Master Circular also come up on this topic. So we have the speakers who will be talking on that, panelist. Yeah, then we also have on 29th itself CSAM as well as CRISC review courses starting. So these are the schedules. So CSAM is from 9 to 1, and right up to the 4th June it goes on, the mock test. And this is CRISC from 29th April to 28th May it will go on. So this is again all domain wise classes will be there on site. So yes, these are the upcoming programs. Fine, and I've shared the registration link for at least the Sheely Tech on chat. So now, okay, coming back to this session, what a wonderful, insightful session we had, Nachiket. And firstly, thank you for accepting the invite at a short notice. We had scheduled it later in May, but due to some contingency on the side of the speaker, we had to reschedule it. And we thank you for accepting it to deliver it at a short notice. And for a very formal vote of thanks, I would request Mahindra Patel sir to give a well-deserved vote of thanks. Mahindra sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Murtaza. Now, Nachiket sir, I had attended your lecture 5-7 years back, and I was flat out impressed. Today also, I mean, I consider myself a very good at Excel, but despite that, there are so many things you have told which really impressed me. So it was a great session, and I think everybody has been impressed, and very, very good session, like always. So I wish ISACA calls you more often and get us more lectures on any other topic which you are confident of. Thank you very much. It was a great session.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for your encouraging words. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure and honor to exchange thoughts and ideas. Thank you.
Yeah, the feedback poll is on. Request all to participate and also come on video. We'll have a group photograph.
Again, thank you very much, Nachiket sir. Great session.
Yes, and yeah, thank you very much, all participants.
Thank
Eid
you.
Mubarak and
Thank you,
happy
Murtaza.
Akshaya
Thank you,
Tritiya,
Nachiket.
everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Nachiket sir.
Thank you all.
Great session. Thank you.
Thank you, Nachiket. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Nachiket sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I think, yeah, believe almost everyone has, submitted the poll, and it's good. We had over 120 participants today, 125 actually. So thanks very much, Nachiket, for the wonderful session. And yeah, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks. Bye. Signing off. Thanks.
You sign.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.